Hey guys, just before we get into the video, I wanted to mention we've made great progress with our subscriber goal, having gone from 69% not subscribed down to about 52%. If you're enjoying the battles, it would mean a lot if you could take 2 seconds to click that subscribe button, as it really helps out the channel. Often people don't realize that they weren't subscribed. Let's see if we can have more subscribers than non-subscribers who watch the videos. We are getting super close. Thanks guys, enjoy the video. The final of the second bracket is upon us as we determine who will be moving to the overall grand final of the Kanto True Power Tournament. In the last battle, we saw a Master versus Apprentice showdown as Professor Oak took on Battle Legend Red in a thrilling match with many twists and turns that really made it hard to determine who would come out on top. Today, we have the rematch of the century as Giovanni, the leader of Team Rainbow Rocket, takes on Red, the former champion of the Indigo Plateau and current co-boss of the Alola Battle Tree. These two faced off once before in this tournament in the semi-finals of the main bracket, with Giovanni emerging the victor. Will Red reverse the trend, or will Giovanni repeat and get a shot at revenge against Blue for the championship? Let's check the team previews as we head into today's battle. Both of these teams are extraordinarily powerful. I mean, how else would these trainers have made it this far in Kanto's biggest tournament of all time? Last time we saw Red's Charizard, Blastoise, and Snorlax come into good use, but ultimately he was thwarted by Giovanni's Kangaskhan and Mewtwo in particular. These are the Pokemon that each trainer will have to keep in mind as we head into the match. Speaking of which, our producers have just informed us that both trainers are ready for battle, so let's head down to the arena for what is sure to be an exciting match. It's time, the long-awaited rematch. We've got Giovanni of Team Rainbow Rocket versus Red of the Alola Battle Tree. Giovanni starting off the battle with his Dugtrio. Always a good lead from him. Dugtrio, of course, does have that Arena Trap ability, whereas Red's gonna go with the Machamp. Now, we haven't seen him lead with Machamp before. He's switching it up for sure, perhaps trying to get around Giovanni's strategy here, and Dugtrio going with the Stealth Rocks, always valuable when going up against Red. But now we'll have to see what the Machamp is able to do with Dynamic Punch on the Dugtrio. Whoa! A one-hit KO right away at the start of the battle. Giovanni perhaps not wanting to take a Dynamic Punch on any other Pokemon. It would confuse it right away. Realizing he got the Stealth Rocks up, he can't be greedy, and going into the Mewtwo now of all things. Mewtwo out on the field very early and going for the Psychic. Red does not switch, doesn't want to take a Psychic from Mewtwo on anything, and another one-hit KO. The Machamp going down to the Psychic. Perhaps Red also hoping that the Assault Vest would allow it to tank it, and maybe it could go for a knockoff or something like that, but not gonna be the case here. Mewtwo is way too powerful for that, and Red now setting up the Snorlax. Snorlax was put to great use actually in their first match, but now the Aura Sphere coming in from the Mewtwo, doing a huge amount of damage on the Snorlax. It is super effective, of course, and the Snorlax actually going for Curse here. So an interesting strategy here from Red, perhaps anticipating that he would actually survive an attack from Mewtwo, which of course he did do, and now the attack and defense of Snorlax going to be raised. Now that's not going to be a big factor in terms of the defense against the actual Mewtwo, but the attack might be something if he can maybe take on Mewtwo with one Body Slam. We'll have to see if that is the case, if it can survive this Psy Strike here. Oh, Snorlax barely surviving. Will get a Body Slam after Mewtwo's Life Orb damage on itself. Let's see if this will take it out. No! The Mewtwo surviving just barely. Both Pokemon in the red now. But it looks like, of course, the Mewtwo will be able to outspeed and likely take down the Snorlax. Snorlax putting up a big wall in front of Mewtwo, but not big enough, of course. Is there any possible wall that is big enough against Mewtwo? I'm not sure, but Mewtwo losing a little bit more damage, and it looks like it will only be able to get off one more attack, though, with the Life Orb. So Snorlax perhaps being a little bit more effective than one might imagine. And now the Arcanine coming out, perhaps Reg trying to go for the extreme speed here. And Giovanni's actually going to switch out into the Kangaskhan to try and tank it. Kangaskhan has been a big threat, but the Arcanine going for the close combat. Oh, Red predicting. Oh, a one-hit KO on the Kangaskhan. Red predicting the switch into the Kangaskhan. Are you kidding me right now? That was insane. Going for the close combat instead of the extreme speed. A relatively risky move if Giovanni did not switch. But of course, having studied Giovanni's trends in the last battle, Red is now making some big moves. Arcanine's going to switch out against the Garchomp, of course. Garchomp is a very big threat for Arcanine. Going into the Blastoise now is Red to try and tank whatever this Garchomp's got. Is going for Stone Edge, actually. Stone Edge would have been super effective against Arcanine anyway. Perhaps Giovanni predicting the Charizard switch there, which would have been an amazing move. But Red perhaps double predicting that and going into the Blastoise now. Now Garchomp's going to go for the Outrage, hoping for the KO, but no! The Blastoise will survive, super physically defensive, and going for the Rapid Spin here. So perhaps a little bit of a sacrifice, maybe making sure those Stealth Rocks are gone, because those are not good for Red's team at all, specifically the Charizard. Charizard is essentially defunct if he does have the Stealth Rocks up. So now another Outrage coming in on the Blastoise, perhaps hoping for the confusion there, but it looks like it will not happen on the Garchomp. Garchomp will get one more free Outrage. The Blastoise is down, and now the Arcanine comes in, which will actually have Intimidate to lower the Garchomp's attack. So a good switch in there by Red, actually, because Arcanine is relatively bulky, and Outrage is neutral damage. We'll have to see if it survives this. Yes, it does survive this. 26 HP left on the Arcanine. The Garchomp will become confused now, and Arcanine going for the close combat should do a good amount of damage. Yeah, below half on the Garchomp now. But of course, Arcanine's defense and special defense will fall. It is very low HP now after that Life Orb damage. 10 HP left, but Giovanni's actually going to withdraw. He's not going to risk the KO on the Garchomp, actually, because Garchomp was confused after all, but Red is withdrawing too, going into the Charizard here. So perhaps anticipating that switch on Giovanni's side, Charizard is on the field against Nidoking. Now the Charizardite Y is being activated. We've got Mega Charizard Y on the field. This thing a threat as always, but we'll have to see what Nidoking is able to do against it here. Charizard will set up the Sun, of course, a huge benefit for it. And now Nidoking going for the Sludge Wave, the Stab Sludge Wave. It is Choice Scarf, of course, so it does outspeed and doing a good amount of damage on Charizard. Charizard now going for the Roost, actually. I don't quite know what Red's doing here. Perhaps he's trying to just kind of scout out the move here, and Charizard's going to actually recover all of its health back, and now switch. So yeah, it looks like actually, oh, sending in the Venusaur now. So a good play there from Red, actually, scouting out what Nidoking would use against it. It was the Sludge Wave. Now sending out the Venusaur to tank it. Still does a decent amount of damage, but of course Venusaur will get some recovery from Black Sludge. And now, all of a sudden, the Nidoking can't do much. Giovanni is actually going to switch now into the Gyarados. Gyarados is a big threat for Venusaur, of course. Venusaur is going to go for the Growth, though. Oh, Red predicting the switch, perhaps, and going for the Growth. That will raise its special attack hugely. So now it all depends what Giovanni went here. Did he predict the Growth or not? We'll have to see what he's going to go for. Venusaur going for the Giga Drain now. That should do a good amount of damage. Over half on the Gyarados, actually. That is dangerous. That is not good for Giovanni. Going for the Ice Fang. He can't go for the Bounce, of course, which would do more damage, doing less than half too on the Venusaur. Yeah, he could not go for Bounce because, of course, Venusaur could just Growth again while he's in the air. So he can't risk that. So yeah, Giovanni not anticipating that Growth when he switched in the Gyarados. The Gyarados will go down to the Giga Drain. This is a huge play by Red here. Switching out, scouting out that Nidoking's move using Roost on the Mega Charizard. A really good play, actually. And now Giovanni sending out the Mewtwo, though. Mewtwo on the field. This should be dangerous for Venusaur, for any of Red's Pokemon. They're going to go down no matter what if he uses Psystrike. So let's see. He is going to switch. Perhaps the Arcanine is low health. But no, he's sending out the Charizard. Mega Charizard is back out on the field. What is Red doing? This is dangerous. This is really dangerous. Psystrike could be a one-hit KO even with Mega Charizard. Is he just sacrificed? He is. Oh, the Charizard goes down. It does reactivate the Sun. The Mewtwo will, of course, go down as well. Both Mega Charizard and Mewtwo going down at the same time. The Life Orb damage taking it down, but now the Garchomp is on the field. And now Red is going to send out the Arcanine. The Arcanine will intimidate the Garchomp, so a good prediction there. Perhaps that's what he wanted. Perhaps that's why he did not actually sack the Arcanine. Arcanine will be able to get Extreme Speed off too on the Garchomp, but it's not enough. And the Arcanine will get KO'd by its own Life Orb damage. Wow, what a play. So perhaps now Red was thinking that he could lower the Garchomp's attack, and that way maybe Venusaur can pull something off. Venusaur is in the Sun after all, so its Chlorophyll ability will double its speed. Venusaur now going for the Growth here. Oh man, it's going to take an attack from the Garchomp, raising its special attack. This is insane. Red sacked his Mega Charizard Y after all. The Outrage coming on the Venusaur now, and it does survive thanks to the Intimidate. Oh my word, I don't have the IQ for this. I cannot comprehend what's happening right now. Venusaur going for the Giga Drain, taking the Garchomp down, outspeeding it in the Sun. And now it's going to have about 93 HP left. And of course, it will get Black Sludge recovery too. And all that Giovanni has now is the Nidoking. The Nidoking is Choice Scarfed though. and it undoubtedly, with the coverage that it has, it's got to have something that's super effective against Venusaur. Yes, the Ice Beam coming in on the Venusaur now. That should be, oh, the Venusaur does actually survive. Amazing special defense, going for the Giga Drain now that it has the growth. Actually, perhaps this was all to set up the growth, doing a huge amount of damage there and getting a lot of recovery. There's no way. Can it get enough recovery to survive another Ice Beam? 102 HP. This is going to be close. This is going to be really, really close. Ice Beam on the Venusaur. Venusaur survives on 20 HP. There's no way this just happened. Giga Drain. Nidoking going down. Red pulling off the victory against Giovanni in the rematch. I am stunned. What a play there from Red, sacrificing what is arguably his best Pokemon, his Mega Charizard Y, in order to get that Intimidate Arcanine out on the field against Garchomp, actually, and Garchomp not being able to take down the Venusaur as a consequence, and Venusaur going for the growth in the meantime so that it could take out the Nidoking. That is unbelievable. This is exactly the type of high-level plays that we would never see coming from these highly skilled players. We've got Red overcoming Giovanni and making it to the grand final. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss the next matches. Before we go, I'd like to thank the patrons who are making this tournament possible. If you guys want to help further this series' potential and support it, the link to my Patreon page will be in the description below. That's all for this one. This has been SilphSpectre, and I'll see you guys next time for more True Power.